Hi, Michael here, January 25. Welcome to the channel. Again, a nice update today, despite a bit confusing markets. It's a bit strange what's going on. More positive in Europe than in the States at the moment, which is not what we've seen over the past weeks. Either case, we did buy in the US EcoPetrol, and we'll come to the details a little bit later. European markets have opened in the red and still are at 11 a.m. Brussels time, still in the red. Um, US, of course, is still closed. They will open in 5.5 hours. Um, it's a bit, as I said earlier, inconsistent behavior, a varied view on the European markets yesterday in terms of closing. Some of them closed positive, other not so much, despite the fact that we're seeing very nice uh, growth percentages in Europe all over the place. So that would have defended higher closing yesterday, but then again, US uh, opened negative as well yesterday, so that might have dampened the enthusiasm a little bit there. The good news is that the American economy is still shrinking. Well, that's not good news in itself, but that the tempo is decreasing. So we're shrinking in the US less now in January than we did in the last quarter. Um, it's all about feeling and emotion. So let's hope that these are all good signs. We see that the confidence in evading and inflation is still there after almost 1 month in the new year. Let's hope we keep that up. EcoPetrol, we've bought it yesterday, well under the limit price that I had set of $12.02. It was executed 900 pieces at $11.87. The closing price yesterday was around the price that we've bought, which means that technically I'm in a loss for the transaction cost of about 30 euros. I'm not worried there. All the indicators are still very good, both short, mid, and long term. And even on the ultra short term, we see a strong upward potential. So I'm looking forward to making a nice transaction on this over the next couple of weeks when we can sell it for at least 5% of profit. Looking at the dashboard, a bit worrying there. Only three stocks in the sweet spot. I've already done some updates this morning because when I started, there was only one. So with the data refresh, we found two additional. The trend, however, is good. As I said before, usually we had 70% of the stocks with a rating of holding and then both reduce and accumulate equally spread over the remaining 13%. And we see now that this is shifting. We see that more and more stocks are shifting from both reduce and from hold to accumulate. And that accounts for the difference in the percentages here, which of course is good news. Lagging a bit behind with keeping the file up to date. I see the oldest records here are of the 20th, which is 5 days ago. So I urgently need to catch up there. And the good news is always when we do, we find new records for the sweet spot. Let's have a look what the sweet spot is today. I've already done the update and sorted it for you here. There's three of them. HCA Healthcare, you will recognize. That's a stock we've sold last week, and it continues improving. So you could argue I shouldn't have sold it. Well, I did. Um, Nice spread between current price and first resistance of 10.42%. But the other two, of course, are even more interesting. Huntsman with a spread of 16.36% and Corcept Therapeutics of over 20%. All of these three, and actually all of them that have been tagged in green here, um, There, the technical analysis shows that on very short term there is strong upward potential, which means you need to keep an eye on them because we're talking about a matter of days. And if you don't keep your eyes open, the opportunity may be gone. That's the update for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back with another update tomorrow.